Okay, what's up, guys? So, What Culture Wrestling has uploaded a video titled 10 Wrestlers Who Visibly Hated Their Own Gimmicks. You know, that's one thing for sure. You would never be able to tell because they're either... Because you never... I don't know. With me, I can never really tell when they hate their own gimmicks or not. Usually, wrestlers would stick to it. Maybe if, like, when they leave and then they change up, like, you know, their ways. I think... Dean Ambrose, I don't know, you couldn't really tell because until, like, you know, you seen him in AEW, then it's all like, oh yeah, he ain't Dean Ambrose, that's Jon Moxley. So you can definitely tell the two differences. And also with Cody Rhodes, and I think Cody Rhodes is the thumbnail of this video. So, but he sold it though. That's the part about it. Like, he was really good at selling that Stardust thing. So he might be number one if they come out with some backstory or something to, like, overall talk about it and things. He might be number one. But yeah, it's like when they just changed, and he changed Cody Rhodes. Like, I think WWE just overall didn't know what to do with him. Like, first he was Randy Orton's like, you know, bodyguard, I guess. Then what else was he? Then he was like the pretty boy, you couldn't touch his face. Then he is Stardust, and now he's like, he's his own person. I feel like that who he is right now in AEW, that's what he always wanted to be. So I'm like, yeah, it's like, you know, somebody that's like calling the shots, but WWE just didn't push him like that. So there's just like, no, there's like, you might have some family history in this business, but I think they overall was saying, like, Cody Rhodes ain't gonna be that person that's calling the shots and stuff, which is messed up. They, you know, they should honestly put it to the test. They should put it to the test and see if that's what the crowd likes. Honestly, they like it, so that's what the crowd likes. Then that's what they should give the crowd. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna listen to freaking Vince McMahon and all them guys. Oh yeah, we're gonna listen to the WWE universe and we're gonna do whatever you guys want to do. Now look, I'm just saying. But anyways,
the modern WWE performer
make sure everything's alright.
Flagship arena with a certain relative confidence. The days of complete repackages are over for now. You're probably going to be the same person you were in NXT. Well, only without a long-term character arc or the creative freedom to do more than enjoy.
I know that guy, what is his, like, EC3, whatever, EP3, I don't know, but he was like, I don't know, I didn't watch NXT, so he probably had, like, a lot going on in NXT. But yeah, for the most part, that man, he was in, like, what was he on Monday Night Raw? He was like on there for like 2-3 episodes, did the whole 24/7 championship thing. I was like, you know, was one of the, like, numerous guys chasing. Then he recently gets fired. Like,
chin locks, or
come on, WWE.
To give a crap about you, or the opportunity to actually get over on a major show presented in front of an awake and alert audience. But the worst thing that can happen to you is a simple name change. Yes, you might lose your first name. You might become a meme. People might never take you seriously ever again. Still, at least Vince McMahon probably won't turn you into a chicken man. Probably.
Wow.
I'm Adam Wilborn from What Culture, and these are 10 wrestlers who visibly
messed up.
Their own gimmicks.
That's a punishment.
The Red Rooster. I just plain didn't get it, remarked the Red Rooster in a shoot interview years later. Whether dumbfounded or pissed off or both, Terry Taylor's appearances as the Red Rooster were notable for his sheer wide-eyed discomfort. The gimmick, to the uninitiated, you lucky bastards, an anthropomorphic rooster with a red mohawk and a predilection to call throughout tragically optimistic promos aimed at his rooster boosters.
That is a punishment.
Surgical removal of Taylor's apparent skyscraper ego. In execution, it was as successful as WrestleMania 3. Number 9, the Un-Americans. Just look at Christian's face in this promo picture. Lance Storm always looked like that, granted. Really look at Christian. You can almost see his nostrils flare. This was a performer who had revolutionized WWE's stipulation overload era and possessed the charisma to set him apart as a compelling mid-card heel. And here he was, packaged as something promoters would palm off on goobers like this chump. According to Bruce Pritchard, the gimmick was short-lived because the Canadian trio didn't give a sh**. Christian's promos supported this take. His eyes shifted as he bemoaned the average American's ability to name Britney Spears.
It's to me though, like when they do like that, like anti-American, like wrestler or tag team and things, it just doesn't go well. That's why you don't even really see that type of stuff no more. Cause who was it to do it last? Cause he was a WWE champion and stuff. I don't think he did or said anything that was like borderline racist. But no, when they be doing that stuff, or I think it was because he didn't do anything like racist or crazy. But I think it was Mustafa Ali. And he was talking about like how racist them fans can be and things, and it's like I don't even think he was even like a heel. So that's why I'm like, when they put that type of stuff in the environment and things, yeah, it doesn't usually go so good for that wrestler. They'll get some like racist remarks and things. Most likely it won't get to them, but still though, like then it'd be the next wrestler, and then they're like, oh yeah, I'm from Canada and stuff. And then that same fan is attacking them, and then they can't handle it like Christian or anybody else and things, So that's I'm like, yeah, I think it's best if they just WWE just doesn't do that type of stuff. It ain't cool.
Bill of Rights, but perhaps he was simply as bored with the derivative material as they were. Boo! Foreign!
Yeah, it's like you go from like jumping from ladders and stuff with Edge to doing that.
What happened to the Godfather? With that character, the man behind it had finally gotten over after years and years and years of ill-fitting gimmicks. The Godfather, a fun-loving showman with carriages of catchphrases and a train of hoes, was the perfect compromise. But the problem is that it compromised the WWF's public floating, and it was nixed under the new world of sponsor pressure. We can't do things like that. Right, now that's sorted, let's get Trish to bark like a dog. In an enterprising character shift, complete with trademark pun of bloody course, the Godfather became the Good Father, a man intent on atoning for his wicked ways under the clever umbrella of the Right to Censor faction. Good Father aimed for no nonsense, but it just resonated as joyless, which was sort of the point, but he could barely bring himself to act outwardly outraged at the moral morass around him. He just looked really sad.
Yeah, he doesn't. You can kind of tell he's like, I ain't feeling this. Like that last fella they showed of him, you could tell he was not feeling that.
Does Vince McMahon not know? He must be that oblivious, right? He can't possibly have balls that big. Balls big enough to call up Tony Atlas and say, hey Tony, I want to set race relations back a few decades, and you're just the guy I have in mind. Perhaps Vince McMahon was simply an innocent all along.
Look, if it was my wrestling company and the wrestler approached me, he said he wanted to overall educate people on his heritage or his family tree and all that stuff, I'm like, go for it, do it. I'll be supportive, but that's on you. I'm like, whatever the fans say, that is on you and things. So, but that ain't something where I can go out of my way and, I can't even think of, if it's like a Hispanic wrestler and I approach them, I'm like, okay, you need to wear all of these Mexican outfits and a sombrero and stuff. A sombrero. Tomato, I don't even care. But anyways, yeah, that's just to me, that's just, I don't know, that's some racist activities. I don't be performing racist activities. So I'm like, if you want to wear it, but I'm not going to tell you what to wear and things or what you need to. I'm like, you come, my thing is, it's I think if I own the wrestling company and how it should be, come to me. If you have an idea, test it out, see how it works out. If people like it, then okay, go with it. But if people don't, but that's the thing, I'm like, see, if you strongly believe in this character, then go with it. Keep going with it. If you're doing it for boos, if you're doing it for cheers, either way, You are a wrestler. You have wrestling moves that you need to perform, like the gimmicks, the promos, and all that stuff. If you want it to be the most hated or the most loved, do that. Either way, you're still going to get a reaction out of people. So just do it where it's going to get a reaction out of people. But if you, if it's crickets, you're going to have to change it. You're going to have to come up with something else and things. Like, that's, I don't know what to tell you, but I'm like, you came to me, like, as a businessman wanting to do business and stuff. So I'm like, we could do that, but you best be about business, so.
See the racist depictions of minorities in the overarching culture.
Yeah, see.
As opposed to malice.
Yeah.
Like
JTG, Crime Time. JTG was the wrestler, but Crime Time, I like them. Me and my friends, we do their handshake, all the time when we go to school. So I did like Crime Time a little bit. But yeah, this is, that's doing too much.
Hated the gimmick. According
That's
to the man
doing
himself,
too much.
JJ Dillon conceived of the gimmick having recently visited Africa, which, for God's sake, is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Where did he go? Number 6, the Stalker. No, not Diamond Dallas Page, he got off lucky, but Barry Windham, a burly, credible JCP superworker boasting an awesome brand of physical charisma. But sod that, he's in the WWF now, so let's repackage him. This now hapless bastard emanated from the funniest wrestling locale ever. He was a game hunter, you see. He stalked not the woods nor the forest, but the environment. The environment. The wild surely sounds far cooler, far more dangerous, but Vince McMahon and his synonyms ran wild over WWE long before the days of local medical facilities and eliminators and askers. You know, because by virtue of being Japanese, she is somehow a synonym of Io Shirai. I didn't really like it, you know, the face paint and all that, Windham told Hannibal TV. He wrestled with zero verve or physicality, but then again, that might have just been the WWF telling one of Ric Flair's greatest ever opponents that he just didn't know how to work. Number 5,
Dang.
Braden Walker. Wrestling promoter Vince McMahon has a tendency to ban words. He doesn't like the words hospital, shot, international, and wrestling. And in the case of poor Braden Walker, he didn't like the word Vaseline when he absolutely f***ed him over. Walker's WWE career was outstanding. Unremarkable. So much so that he is now the byword for it. WWE could have not cared less about him. It was a black comedy pièce de résistance, Walker's career. A very entertaining personality as a part of America's Most Wanted, he debuted in WWE as a guy. Knock, knock, he said infamously to Armando Estrada. Braden Walker, he answered, and I'm going to knock your brains out. Now, Braden aimed for a gruff, no-nonsense delivery.
I don't know about that one.
More uninterested. Number 4, Greg Valentine. Greg Valentine's constant expression of unadulterated disdain throughout his time in the Rhythm and Blues team was almost impressive, given
Hopefully
that he
this
was
fan
a
ain't
gruff,
blown into this microphone making a
by default.
wind noise.
Greg Valentine looked
Y'all might be
even
able to
more
hear, but
miserable than usual here. Valentine was meant to be the snarling, attitude-laced rock and roller, but in execution, he appeared like a bedroom miserablist. Hunka Hunka Honky Love was Rhythm and Blues' purported hit, but Valentine was playing Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now. If Honky was rhythm, Valentine was certainly the blues. Number 3.
He probably he might have mentioned it to him that he didn't overall care for this character and stuff. Like, it's like, how the question is, how long did that character last? Like, that's, he might have said it, and it just one ear out the other, or I just went temporarily deaf. But no, like, if he didn't, then it was like, how long, if that character lasted a while, then that's just WWE, all like, we don't want to waste our money and stuff. But if it didn't last for that long and he was telling people he didn't like it and things, then yeah, it's I guess it's good, it's good, but let him do something else.
It wasn't 2 weeks into my run, and I thought, I've made a f***ing mistake, Douglas told Hannibal TV. This ostensible rib was next level in its creative cruelty. We can't even be bothered to teach this guy a lesson, so have the poor prick teach it to himself. Shane Douglas was a rebellious, influential vanguard of the new school in ECW. And to underscore the extent to which WWE so often gets it wrong with guys imported from elsewhere, He became the establishment of an Ivy League university. Who switched my notes? Oh wait, that's real. It was also consummately backwards, and it doesn't require a posthumous shoot interview to learn that Dean hated his lot in the WWF. Cutting a promo aimed at Diesel, there's a great tell towards the end. He described himself as perhaps the next WWF champion. Immediately following which he appeared vacant for a 2-second moment that lasts for a lifetime. It's as if he knew how ludicrous a notion that was and how little conviction there was in the verbiage. Perhaps. Yeah, probably not. Number 2, Stardust. Cody maintains on Twitter that he was grateful for the Stardust experience. It was a professional low, he wrote recently, but still fairly successful.
Wow.
Fairly successful is right. Incredibly, he was a regular fixture on Raw. Competed in a superb Intercontinental title ladder war at WrestleMania 31 and captured doubles gold alongside Goldust. Ignoring that Nick...
And I think that's what they were all like, okay, because of how successful Goldust was. They were thinking like, oh, okay, you know, we got Stardust. We got to come out with something. But that's the thing, though. Like, Goldust, who he is, he played that role off well. And I don't know, maybe that's just like their family where whatever they're doing, whatever like role that they're playing, they can play it off well. But that just didn't really... If it's like... You've seen Cody Rhodes already before. Maybe if he started off as Stardust and then he worked his way to the other, then probably he might have been in WWE still. He might have been. I don't know. But yeah, just overall, it just didn't really see like who he was. Like I seen Cody Rhodes like all the way in the start of his career and stuff. So that when his started like with WWE and his run in there, but. Yeah, I'm like, that's Stardust was like, it was just weird. It wasn't something that's like, this don't seem like him and stuff. So that's why I'm like, yeah, it didn't surprise me when he left. So, you know, like, yeah, they tried, but...
Not that one. Did that too, and it thus means nothing. And because Cody is just a top bloke, he wasn't quite talking bollocks. Cody as Stardust tried really hard to make something of this. The determination to make it work only exposed how much he evidently couldn't. It was a thankless task he perfected on one occasion. In a WWE.com exclusive, an animated and infurious Stardust threatened to cut the fat out of WWE with a subtext of searing rage. He was also vividly enraged about WWE's glass ceiling and how woefully unequipped his disastrous act was to break it. Number 1, Lord Tensei. Never the most expressive of performers.
That guy, he's had...
Or Albert, or A-Train, or Train, or Sweet Tea, nonetheless could pull
he's had a lot of different characters in WWE.
Bastard. He was a pretty good big hard bastard in Japan too, having performed as a big hard bastard without a creative department lumbering him with crappy gimmicks, and without an obnoxious fan base telling the poor prick to shave his back, thereby ruining any mystique he may have built. When he returned to WWE under the Lord Tensei gimmick, he looked like a big soft If you thought they looked like Vikings, so let's call them the Viking Experience was peak Vince, my audience are idiots McMahon, you may not have lived through 2012. So, the former Albert excelled in Japan, right? You could say he conquered it. And so, they dressed him up like a Japanese emperor or some bollocks. Caucasian Matt Bloom was the most historical Japanese guy of all time. Jerry Lawler, in a bid to put over the scope of jobber Alex Riley's task, said he felt sorry for him. It was the debuting Tensei who deserved the sympathy. The poor guy scanned the audience mid-match, racked in pure work dread, knowing a droning Albert chant wasn't far away. And that's our list. Did we miss anything? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And check out some more of our recent videos here. And check out our wrestling podcast by searching for What Culture Wrestling on either iTunes.
I say they miss Dean Ambrose.
Thanks for watching. I've been Adam from What Culture, and I'll see you soon.
That's the only wrestler I can honestly think of. Probably Dean Ambrose. That was it. It's funny. I'm like, Bray Wyatt. It's just his character is just played off too well. If Bray Wyatt hated his character, that's I'm not. I don't know. Like that's I'm like who he is right now is really good and stuff. Like, and it just seems like his character, Bray Wyatt. If I had to say anything about his character is like the first It, and then who he is now is like the second like It, like talking about the movies and stuff, like how good the first one was and then how really good the second one was. So that's what I say with Bray Wyatt. But Dean Ambrose, he was like, he came back, he wrestled for a little bit, and then he was gone. And then that's why I'm like, yeah. And then I think he even came out in an interview and he said that he didn't overall like what they were doing with them. So yeah, that's why I'm like, who he is on AEW, I'm like, yeah, that's more suitable. But I mean, that's the thing where it's like they play it off so well that it's like now it's like when I see now I'm like the thing is when I see wrestlers just being like super dramatic, my thing is I'm gonna be thinking that they're that they're doing that just like, okay, let's do something with this and things, or I don't know, like I overall think that when wrestlers, when they're being dramatic, like they're doing it because they don't like it, but they're probably all like, let's see if it works out. If it doesn't, then I want something else. And then that's probably why when you see a wrestler, when they leave, then there you go. It's because of that last thing that they did with wrestling and things. So, but anyways, yeah, if y'all got some people up on it, I don't know. But anyways, make sure you guys go subscribe to What Culture Wrestling for more videos like this. Like and subscribe to me too. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.